So what we are covering this week is actually pretty cool, and I think you're going to really like what you're creating because we're going to go through how to do an accordion panel, how to do a tabbed panel, how to do a modal window, and how to create a couple different types of photo sliders. So you definitely need to read through the book and go through the lecture demo, because embedded in the lecture demo, I do have videos that explain what the code is doing. And in order for you to utilize the code, it's critical that you understand what it's doing. So watching those videos is really important. You'll also notice that I have a tutorial on how to use the jQuery user interface because we are also going to be using that. So for accordion panels, there are 3 different ways that you can create them. You can use JavaScript, you can use jQuery, and you can use the jQuery user interface. As we go from JavaScript to jQuery, we get more abstract because jQuery wraps a couple of JavaScript commands in a single command. So it's more abstract. And when we go from jQuery to the jQuery UI, we get even more abstract. So you'll notice that the code gets shorter. So the code to do the accordion panels in JavaScript is going to be longer than the code to do it in jQuery. jQuery is going to be longer than the code to do it in the jQuery user interface. And again, super important that you guys watch the videos. You will notice that I like to include interactive examples embedded in the lecture demo, but I'm also giving you a link outside of the lecture demo so you can view the source code and kind of see it without all of the other lecture code mucking up the works. So definitely want to check out the code as well. And the video does go through what the code is doing. So for accordion panels, you are going to learn how to do 3 different ways. And for tabbed panels, you're also going to learn how to do 3 different ways. So we start with JavaScript, move to jQuery, and then you learn how to use the jQuery user interface. Okay, and any special methods that you use, I do explain to you what they do, and it's also explained in the video. Then we get into modal windows. Now the modal window for the textbook author works offline, doesn't work very well inline or online. And the example that you really should look at is this space collective because it's actually pretty cool. And if you click on this, a window pops up with a larger view. So this window is a modal window. And you're going to be learning how to create these. Okay, different ways that modal windows are used are listed, and then you'll learn how to create modal windows with a button as a trigger or a link as a trigger. Now this example that we just used where I clicked on the image, that is a link that is a trigger. So you'll learn how to do a modal window in both JavaScript and jQuery. And again, the videos explain what the code is doing. And then we get into a couple different photo viewers. So the first one is done in jQuery. And basically, we're clicking on the thumbnails and it's bringing up a bigger image. And of course, the video is explaining everything the code does. And here's the example from the book if you want to see how the book did it, but it's the same basic concept. If you are interested in photo viewers, I did provide a link to a little tutorial on how to create a light box and this does incorporate a modal into the basically the photo slides or photo images. So if you click on this, you get a bigger one. Okay, and you can also click on the different thumbnails. So when we get to the assignment, you are going to get to pick what you want to do for photos. You can do a photo viewer, a photo slider. I will also allow you to do this, which is a light box. Responsive slider, this is probably one of my favorite things. And the way it works is it will kind of push the current image to the left, which is why it's called a slider. But you'll notice that you can click the buttons, and then depending on which button you pick, it'll push to the right or the left. And I like this so much that I actually incorporated it into my own personal homepage. Okay, so these are all set up on the slider as well. So you are going to learn how to do this. And the video explains what's going on in the code. And for your assignment, you will actually have the option of what kind of photo viewer or slider you want to create. And jQuery does have a lot of super cool special effects. And so I did include some links where you can kind of investigate different effects that you can utilize in your code. Now, once you finish kind of working through the lecture, you're going to move on to the programming assignment. And the first exercise involves using panels. So you can either do an accordion panel or a tabbed panel, totally up to you. And I did include the video explanations from the lecture to kind of refresh your memory what the code is doing, because you're going to come up with your own content. Now, if you want to apply this to your final project menu, that is perfectly okay. And you can change your final project menu and you can submit it for this exercise. So exercise 1, you're either going to use jQuery or JavaScript to create either an accordion or a tab panel. For exercise 2, you're going to use the jQuery user interface for either an accordion or a tabbed panel. And if you want to just simply modify exercise 1, that is okay. And again, I do have examples and videos that explain what the code is doing. Exercise 3, you're going to create your own modal window. And I do have quite a few examples. I have videos that explain the code. You can use either jQuery or JavaScript for this. Okay, and you can look, I can see this one has a button for the modal. And then either clicking the X or clicking away gets rid of it. And for this one, it's this little graphic that is a trigger. And these are actual links, and then you can close it. And the textbook author has examples as well. But you are going to create some type of modal. And if you wanted to create the light box for this, that would be fine. The light box tutorial, there is a link to that in the photo slider section, but because it actually generates a modal, you could use that for this exercise. Then we have a photo viewer or a responsive slider. You're going to want to pick one. And I've already kind of shown you the examples and I do include links to an explanation of the code. So I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun with this because these are super cool features. So this is what the assignment entails. And once you finish all of that, um, you are going to complete your term project milestone 2, which should be pretty well completed. Basically, what that involves is you have to have one working game, and you can use the jQuery drag and drop for the working game. Okay, you can also use that tutorial from Canvas as a working game as long as you made modifications to it. And then you're also going to want to work on your showcase. Okay, then you'll be posting the video to share it with the class. And then you'll be replying to each other. And just remember to try to fully watch their video because your classmates are taking a lot of time and effort in creating this, and they sincerely want your feedback. So please watch the entire video and then post your reply. And any kind of constructive, basically, suggestions are really useful. So that is pretty much what we have going on this week. If you run into any problems or you have questions, because NMC has transitioned all campus courses to online, I'm going to be online a lot. So I have moved all of my office hours online. You'll be receiving numerous invites throughout the week. Feel free to stop by. I am happy to help. It's super easy for me to help you in Zoom. All you have to do is share your screen, and I will be able to see what you're doing and help you fix it. So have a good week, have fun with the assignment, and most importantly, if you have questions or problems, please communicate with me so I can help you.